I asked Neela, what do I say about architecture? Because I am not architect, and the only architecture I know is that of the economy, of which I have been speaking at every place. Therefore, I don't intend to speak here. But your theme is architecture, a lasting impression. Well, the architects of the old did that. The big Dagabas that were built, like Ruangvali Saya, Abhayagiri, and the Jetavanarama, the Sigiriya, which is one of the best architectural examples that we can give in the world. Many more of those buildings, what you see in Polonnaruwa, and even in our period of decline, still under the last king, we expanded the Maligawa with its octagon and built the Candy Lake. So we did have architectural abilities that went on. And then we started in the 20th century, our next round, starting, I don't know whether any of them are there, with the Trinity College Chapel. And then we had Reed, who did the Kalaniya Vihara and the Lake House building, the Peradeniya campus, the Independence Square, and the art gallery until, well, Jeffrey Bawa and the Parliament. Now, it's a question of how do we carry forward this heritage and bring it to a higher level and to international standard. It's so at a time when the construction industry is down. For a long time, the last 2 years has seen the impact of the crisis on the construction industry and thousands of people losing their jobs. The number of projects available also has reduced. We've had an economy before that which was basically a large extent concrete. But the concrete went in on roads and irrigation works, and those debts have to be repaid, part of the reasons for the crisis. It doesn't mean that we have to stop construction, but it means that when we have to restructure the economy, the restructuring will also mean emphasis on other places. The construction, we'd like to see it start again, but it won't come to the level it was earlier. And we have also to promote our construction companies to look abroad for work. But there will be other areas which will come up because our policy thrust is to get the private sector in on the areas of construction of buildings, of houses that come along. These are some of the ideas, and as the economy picks up, certainly there will be more skyscrapers, more high-rise buildings, and more houses which people will build. But we have to plan out where we do it, and how we do it, and how we develop our own transport system. So this is where I feel the future is. And this is where we have to work. I hope in time to come, even Port City will give an opportunity of designing. Part of the Port City land belongs to the government, and we will be also giving it out. I hope the private sector who takes part will also make use of your talents. I think that's the matter you all have to discuss with the chambers and others. So these are the opportunities that are coming in for Sri Lanka. We should make use of it to make a name for ourselves. Remember, there's going to be opportunity in India as it grows. If you have a name, why not go there? Already some are designing houses there into Africa. So ensure that we use this opportunity for architects to develop themselves. We can make Colombo a very beautiful city. Already Subarnajurong has given us that plan. So on that we go ahead. We've also got another Subarnajurong layout for Trincomalee. So that's another area. Then they'll also be working on a tourist zone from Verugallaru down to Batiklo and then again in the Arugambe areas. Jaffna has its potential. So as we push the tourist industry, as we go in for expansion, I hope we will also succeed in getting non-government university in Sri Lanka. The new act enabling provincial councils to establish universities is the start. And then it's a question of how much we need at least 10,000 engineers. We need more architects. We need IT specialists. Sri Lanka is committed for the climate change goals. And when I took over, the climate change goals were to be achieved in 260. I made it to 2050. Now at this UN session, the Secretary General is asking to accelerate the agenda, looking at the fires that have taken place in Europe. So we are also looking whether we can do this prior to 2050. I think we can. Part of it depends on the resources. But from now onwards, This means that our architects will have to conform to climate change criteria. After all, I spoke at Jeffrey earlier, where Kandalama is one of the best examples. But small buildings, big buildings. So make use of it, because that means Sri Lankan architects will qualify in climate change architecture, mitigation architecture, long before others. By law, we will ask buildings in the future to comply with the climate mitigation standards. That's a new area that's coming in. And we will look at how we go ahead. On this, we can identify some of these aspects to be included in the International Climate Change University, which we hope to set up in the old Kotmale Skanska cap and the ones surrounding it. So it will be as big as the Peradeniya campus. So these are the opportunities that exist for architecture. Then it's a question of how you make it a lasting impact. That's your job of doing it. If we could have done it 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, why can't we do it now? That question I leave to you. So I think I have done my job of telling you what I think architecture will be in the future. Now it's up to you all to ensure it's a lasting impact. Thank you.